Hi, everybody. This is Deborah. Let me read the disclaimer as usual. All the information provided on this channel is for educational purpose only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I will mention some alleged happening today, and yes, I will give my opinions about some things. Respect others because you want others to respect you. We have different journeys. For instance, I went down a place you would never want to go. You may disagree, and that's okay. My thoughts matters, and so do yours. I will use words not intending to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonate with you, and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. So tonight again, I thought I'd try. Let's chat. What's on your mind? Okay, let's see here. So I'm gonna wait a little bit and see if someone's gonna come online. Uh, I meant to do something else. Hi, BLH. How you doing? Hi, Ocean. You love my hair, child. This stuff is getting thinner and thinner. It's all right. I'm thinking about cutting it all off, going bald head again. I don't know whether I told y'all the what I did one time was because I was having a little bald spot up in here. This young lady was doing a video on good. I'm glad you're doing well. Recovering from a headache, trying to stay at level. I understand that. I know I had a little situation going on earlier today. I said, let me get on YouTube so I can feel better. But I started feeling better before I got on here because I like to bring positive energy when I connect with you people or here on YouTube because that's so important for all of us. Um, but yeah, so what I did because my hair was naturally curly, and so I was listening to this child, and she said to put some rice. Rice would grow the hair, but her hair was thicker than mine, and her hair was not curly. I put that stuff in my head, man. I tell you the truth. All my little curls got drained. My hair is just completely, it is so stringy and it's so, the curls are gone just about. I mean, it's still wavy a little bit, but the curls, man, let me tell you something. When you want to get and go somewhere, you want to just take your fingers, run it through your hair with the curls, and keep it moving, okay? Because you know what? I didn't appreciate the curls when I was young, but I sure appreciate them now. Because you can get and go. Rice doesn't work for me. I like a castor, okay, coconut, and olive oil. Francis, too. You know what? I use some castor oil too. They said to use that. Jamaican castor oil. They said to use that, and that will grow your hair. Child, that was a hot mess. That didn't do nothing. And I like coconut too. I love fruity smells and yeah, fruity smells. I love that. Coconut is one of them. I love that. Even with fragrances, I like the fruity smell because the body. Y'all gonna laugh at this, but it used to be when I go past a certain old type of people, you sit beside them and they have this certain scent. Well, since I've gotten older, I got that same certain scent, and so I like to lotion my body down with fruity lotions, and I like the fruity fragrances, and I use it, and it does me well. It does me well because I'm telling you, my nose is so sensitive. It just don't like stench. Uh, Yeah, I always talk about that because, you know, it's important not to be smelling because somebody gonna talk about you. Yeah, especially if you're in the workforce. It's gonna get around back to you if you smelly. I don't know. I don't know if that's a Virgo thing or is that just a anybody thing? Because I really don't like the stench. So what's going on with you people? What's going on with y'all? I ain't Deborah ain't doing all the talking tonight now. Y'all gonna have to come on in and let's get some conversation going. So peppermint, Earl Grey tea I use for scent. Oh, okay. I don't know. I can't for some reason get that peppermint going. I don't mind the peppermint bath, but I can't get that walking around with that peppermint scent. For some reason it's just too strong for me. That's why I like the fruity scents. They're a little bit more calmer than the peppermint for me. I'll use it in the bathtub. I try many different types of bath oils that's supposed to calm you uh, when you go into when you do the bath. Because I used to didn't take baths. I used to take me a shower and get gone. But since I've gotten older, I've done a lot of things since I've gotten older. Glad you're doing all right, Miss Ocean. Glad to know that. What state are you in, Miss Ocean? Did you tell me BLH that you was in what state? Did you say what state you was in? I don't think you did. Oh, you're in Barbados. My daughter just came from Trinidad. Okay. Well, welcome, Miss Barbados. I guess that's why you named it Ocean. Man, there's just so many places that is I know it's beautiful. Oh, okay, that's why. You know what? I realized, and I did a research on it. They always would say, let's go to the Caribbean islands. And then after I start really studying and doing some deep dive and research, you know what? This whole planet is islands. This whole planet, the entire planet. Now, we were supposed to be, my daughter and I, we went to, I think it was some parts of South Carolina, and it was like 6 hours. And the way we had to go, um, Georgia seemed like we weren't going to ever get out of Georgia. And I hadn't been that way. But as we were going, it was so much water, you know. And I'm like, look at there. If you don't get out and venture out in places that you reside in, they can tell you anything. And they have this place called Jackal Island. And Jackal Island, I've been to Jackal. Jackal Island is about 6 hours away from Atlanta. And it used to be called Wales, WHALE Island, because they have big, big whales, man. I mean, when we went there, and I was wondering, I said, why that water splashing way up there like that? It's because the whales was doing that, and it was just amazing how I think that was the first place the IRS, the IRS, Internal Revenue. Internal Revenue, that was the first place Internal Revenue met together was at Jackal Island. Yeah, I know America has the most ancient play. You know I know that. You know, did a post when I was on Facebook. I had like over 5,000 followers, and everybody, I cause everybody to contribute because I just don't, it's no one person know everything, and you gain information through communicating, and so I had that going pretty good. But I did a post on there about the uh, the pyramids. People think pyramids are like triangles. That was the way, like our nose is shaped like the what they call the pyramid. The pyramid is also round. Stone Mountain is round, and so I did some research, and I found several pyramids right here in America. Also at the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, it covers, I think, about 4 states. I haven't been there yet, but that's on my to-do list. Uh, oh, you've been to Brooklyn and Tampa? Oh, okay. You know what? People like to go to Florida from the Caribbeans, and they like to go to New York. I don't know why. Now, New York is supposed to be uh, London or baby London. Uh, that's what they called New York. New York has some stuff going. New York has some old history. Um, BLH said, I did not like what I heard years back about the Stone Edge. They crippled in Stone Mountain. I was heartbroken and terrified. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Those patriots, the people that was here, you already know who was here first. What they did, all the places where the vortexes, see, the pyramids are considered to be vortexes, and there are 12 of them in the entire earth, and Stone Mountain is one of them. And it's amazing. That's why I got on the game called secondlife.com. On that game, there's a lot of companies go and meet on the game. I call it underground meeting. But one of the things that I found, I learned a lot on Second Life because I was able to talk to different people with a translator. That's what I originally used it for. But I go and party now. But okay, so BLH says state mid Atlantic is the constituent states of the United Kingdom. What's GB? Jerusalem Israelite, original 13 colonies specifically. Now I know that the 13 colonies that came here to America was a mixed people. They were mixed. And because I studied that in depth, all the stuff they were trying to hide, I found it. And it just certain, you have to know certain words. Because if you don't know the words that they use, like if I use this word right here, do you know what that word means? You know what I'm saying? So what they did, they used certain words, and the creator gave me those words, so I was able to just slide through different websites getting information. And it's funny to me because I know I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know the words. So I knew it was something greater than myself was showing me how to do it. Yeah, I did a video on that. The English alphabets. Did you see that? I did a video on that. It is a very low vibrational language. What they did, they put, I think it's Aramaic. Latin. I don't know why they said people or Spanish. Spanish was never a language. They just recently created that to be a language. It was Latin. And any person that is a Hispanic person would tell you it's Latin. It's not Spanish, but they made it Spanish, you know. But yeah, that's how I found out about the pyramids, because people think pyramids is shaped like the triangle, and many of them not the main ones. Now you have that mom and pop pyramid that they put together, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the real pyramids. The real pyramids are still standing. They couldn't get rid of them, like Stone Mountain. And if you look at the stone that's on Stone Mountain, it is just, oh man, it's awesome. And you know for a fact that some man, some little bitty man ain't built that. Something very phenomenon had to have put that stone together. Who built the real pyramids? This is my theory. My theory is this. There were originally women. Hey Zaliki, how you doing? There were originally women in the planet and they were giants. And the reason why I say that is because when I was a child growing up, they did a movie called The 50-Foot Giant. And she was a Caucasian. And if the giant was a male, they would have made her a male, but they made her a female. And I know that it was female giants. They did all that. They made all the pyramids that can't go away. uh Grand Canyon go 4 or 5 states from what I saw, as I begin to put the information together. Um that they got them in Illinois. Illinois has uh pyramids as well. Uh so all that came from the female. uh and they had big trees too. You find big stumps like in South Carolina, even also in California, uh, in that place, Arkansas, all those places you find the big tree stump. Do I think the pyramid? Yes, and I tell you why. Do you remember Zaleka? Do you remember watching the movie, well, the series, Alfred Hitchcock? His name was Alfred Hitch. I think it was spelled maybe like that. Uh, like that maybe. Alfred Hitchcock used to have a series, and on the series, I watched a show. I watched it was some kids in the classroom setting, and in the classroom setting, it was a little girl in there. She could hear the people talking. She whatever they were thinking. No, not hear them talking. She could hear them thinking. And so, yes, from that right there, I never forgot it. Yes, I do believe the mind can do all kinds of things if you're able to grasp that. Like, that's how I know that thought is the manifester, not speech. Because by the time it gets to speech, thought has already manifested. You just confirmating yourself, you know. Yes, they can't rebuild. They can only you mean rebuild anything, or the pyramids. They can't rebuild the pyramids, and they can't get rid of them. That's what's so funny about it. They cut down the trees. The tree stumps are huge. Oh, the pyramid. No, they can't get rid of them. They showed you some old man-made stuff talking about it used to be. I'm like, you need to stop. And see, and what is so funny, Georgia, When I started looking at each state, they were trying to say that they named these states after uh, people that were currently still living. Like Georgia. Georgia was named after King George. So that means King George was here. You see what I'm saying? Uh, what is it? Jamestown, Virginia. That means King James was there. And then Virginia represent the virgin, the word virgin. I mean, we have to we have to grasp how they play on words. I pulled a few words that I wanted to mention, depending on what you guys talking, because I don't want to do all the talking, y'all. Yeah, Maryland, uh-huh. Yep, Maryland, that's it. Yeah. I had did matter of fact, the video's still out there. Um, still out there. But yeah, I do believe because I did it. I didn't really know that's what I was doing, thinking things, because you know how you think about somebody and then they will appear uh, while you're out, or they may call you or something, and you may say, "Oh, I was just thinking about you," but you manifest them. You manifest them in your life, back in your life. You manifest them for that moment or that time. You did that. You did that with your mind. You did that. And the thing of it is, once we learn and pay attention to what we're doing, because you hear a lot of people say, because they just repeating what somebody else said, you hear a lot of people say that the word is the manifester, and it's not. It's really not. See, think about it. How the patriarchals get the women to do things. They speak to the women what they want the woman to manifest. What do the woman do? She think about it, and then she start repeating it. But when she start thinking about it, it's already forming at that point. Think about it. All females aren't women, and all women don't manifest. They are, everybody look alike. And just because they look like you don't mean that they're manifestors. They you know who they are, because when they're around you, they pull on your energy, and they take it drains you. When you got a vampire around you, it drains you. Oh, you had to leave for a bit. Okay, cool. That's okay. But you'll know, because you have energy, and then all of a sudden that person will come around you, and then you're feeling tired all of a sudden. It's because that person is draining your energy. They like vampires. I don't even think they know they doing that. I really don't. You know, them people, they're constantly in your face trying to get attention. That those are the energy drainers. I was looking at the word con, and con is listed 7,038 times. That's how many times the word con is uh, in words. And I was taught growing up, prefixes are pretty much the meaning. If con is in the beginning of a word, that's the meaning of that word, con. And I kind of jot down, in my own opinion, and what I read, the meaning of con. It means that is to deceive someone by trying to uh, by lying or tricking them into believing something. That's what con means. Uh, and so if you got the word conscious, and if you got the word subconscious, those are low vibrational words. I always use inner self or outer self, or I try my best not to use that word conscious. Of course, you know about the television. Television is tell live vision, which is a program. Um, it tells the lies. You ever seen those people? They got to go and watch football. They have to. They drawn to the football. They're programmed. I notice every time they got some football game going on, people go get wings, people go get alcohol, and they tie it to the TV for football. I don't like football because it's a violent game. People get hurt in football. And so I don't watch games that are violent at all. Um, I was looking at the word broadcast. The word broadcast means casting. I'm gonna put them in here. Broadcast. Let's see, casting abroad. Did I do that right? Casting abroad. And what it's doing is casting abroad is casting a spell. And Comcast was named that. When they first came out, they were called broadcast. And now they're called so the X, they're saying get rid of the feminine, get rid of it, the exit. So when I see this word, and I always, when my son used to work for them, I always would say, "Come cast your com, Comcast your com." But Comcast to me is Comcast a spell. Where can I find that? Bless is a curse means a spell. I can't find it. You can't find what? Phew. Let's see. Uh, See, I got that through. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. Hold up. Let's see. You can start out here. Okay, you can start out there. And it's not going to tell you that uh, you got to keep on searching. Let's see here. Copy. This is one of the Bible concordance that I use to put together that information. There is, I wouldn't buy them. Somebody sent these to me, and I didn't ask the person to, but they sent these to me, and I didn't think I would need them, and I was going to send them back to him, but I've been using them. You see that? You see that? I hope you see that. Okay. And then this one right here. Okay, do you see this one? Oops. That one right there. So I have the new, the old, and the new. So it's a lot of searching out um, to be able to get to that place that is a spell. Uh, this book right here, do, do you see that one? Let's see. I'm gonna turn it that way. Turn it that way. There you go. There I go. You see that one? Okay. So that came from putting pieces together. And that's how it came up as being a spell. Um, I think I had that video up at one time, and it might be one of those that I'll look in my notes if I still have it online, and then I'll send it to you because there's some more stuff added to it, and then you'll be able to do your research on your own. Uh, I don't use that word. So I looked at the as I looked at Comcast, then I looked at the remote. I said, you know what? Remote control. So the remote control equals, I said, look at that shit right there. You see that when you start paying attention to words, and what you have to do, you have to dissect them things. You have to look at any word that you use, any word, and start dissecting it. It will trip you. Excuse me. I use this. Let's see. Let me see. Can I find it? I'll put it on how I might get in trouble because every time I put stuff that's useful to people, it disappears. That right there, uh, you can spell the word backwards, so you don't have to, uh, and reverse it. Let's see here. Let's see. There is. Now I know that word. Okay. There's a website that you can go to that you can put the word in, and it will break the word down all the way down to two letters. Where is it? I used to have it. Where is it hidden? Mm, goodness. Oh well. I'll look for it. I'll look for it again. And then I'll add it to this video. Uh, is what I'll do. So let's see here. I jot down the word realize, and realize turned out to be real eyes over real lies. So when you use the word realize, you're actually talking about real eyes or real lies. Um, and this is a word that I have to really be broken from. Uh, understand. Understand means that you're under someone's authority. So when you use the word understand, understand actually means stand from within. That's what it means. Of course, you know what this word is. Uh, his stories are made up and they're full of lies. And so, what was happening today is that there are people appointed all over the world that the Most High is using to go in and see the truth through the lies and rewriting it. And so what happens is people, because they don't want to come up out of that, they are afraid of the new because they think the new in the Bible it talks about, if someone come with another word, or if someone comes uh telling you something else pertaining, don't listen to them, they of Satan, all that crap. The writers put that stuff in there to put fear in people, because once people have fear, they're going to be afraid, and they'll tell you, well, since I've been praying to whoever their deity is, everything's been going well for me, and they will stay there because that's what they told themselves. They mentally told themselves, I've been doing well since I've been praying to whoever their deity is. And so they would not come out of his story. They're going to stay in his story because he is the one that created the lies. And so they're going to stay there. And then the ones that know that his stories are lies, they're going to keep on looking to see what the creator is saying and changing, because in the back of this book, it says, and I literally laughed when I saw it, because it says in Revelation 19, uh 22:19, it says, and if any man shall take away from the words of this book or this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. Now, first of all, the creator didn't write that book. Man did. The other thing, the creator did not tell man to write that book. Man wrote that book based on what their idea of what the creator is. And as you can see, the writers made the creator a horrible creator, as you can see, you know. But most of the stuff that's been going on has been magic. These particular people that wrote the book, they learned how to use magic. And it's the magic they operate through the women. And there are women that they actually use to get things going. I just found out that there is a woman that was here in she was the mayor here of Atlanta, and she's now the advisor to the White House. And I just found that out, and I did not know that she's all the way up there, but she went there, and they've always had uh women, and I like to call them swarthy women, and the word swarthy means brown, uh dark, but not black, and so they've always had women behind the scene advising them, and these was women that had power uh to cause things to manifest, but they were using it for the wrong thing, and they still here doing the same thing. And so the ones that's going to use the power for the right reason, excuse me, we're trying to reverse that, because we want everybody to have a piece of the pie. Hi Jesse, how you doing? I know 2 days in a row you caught me. I'm glad you caught me. So you come on in here and say what you got to say. Come on in. Let's see here. So I was looking at the ego again, and in Malachi it talks about giving God a tenth of your tithe. Well, giving God your tithing. Tithing means tenth. That's all it means. And yeah, we are. We're living in the prison planet. I was gonna get to that, but let me tell you this that you probably hadn't thought about. Anything on these jobs, what do you do on these jobs? You pay bills. If you are paying bills and that's all you pay while you're working, you are still in a prison, because you hadn't learned how to get out of it. I know somebody that uh, ran their self up over to $200,000, and then they were able to consolidate and pay it off, and now they back in that spot again, which means they didn't learn the lesson. You don't want to tie yourself up to the point where you can't think and you're always stressed, because that's what happened with a lot of people. I was stressing myself out because I couldn't work. And so now that I don't work, I try to utilize my time searching and studying etymology of words. That's what I try to do. And then I watch certain programs on TV that try to see what were uh, the patriarchals trying to say in those movies, because that's pretty much what when you put it on regular stuff, all they doing is having sex and talking about stupid stuff, and it ain't funny. None of that stuff is funny to me. You know, none of it, because it's not. You're not gain people. I noticed. Let me see. Five people unsubscribed to my channel yesterday. Five people at one time. That don't bother me, and the reason why it don't bother me, because the Most High have people orchestrated on who is going to gather to do whatever. So I'm not. Most people don't want to take ownership of anything. They think they're supposed to just breeze and cruise through life, not being responsible or not being obligated or not taking ownership of anything that they say or do. That's negative. And that's what they think. And they're the biggest crybaby. As soon as something they negatively bother people, do harm to people. But as soon as the Most High give them a lesson, they're a big old victim. They become a big victim. And then because they come a big victim, they want you to feel sorry for them. You can't feel sorry for people that purposely went around hurting people. How can you? I turn my head because I'm a big old baby myself. I do feel sorry for them to a degree, but now since I've gotten older, I used to cry for them, but I don't cry for them no more, you know, because I know the creator is not doing what the creator is doing to cause harm, is to teach, you know. But then when you don't learn it, then some other shit happen to you, you know, and that's how it works. So Jesse says my mom stress herself out all the time. I wish I could help. I know. You can't. It just, my daughter and I was talking today. She has three children and I had three. And I was telling her it's not fair for the mother. Her children are grown, and when mother gets older, she just want to enjoy her life. And it's not fair for the mother to, if the creator is taking your children through a comma so they can learn some stuff, because you are a mother, you get stressed out with your grown children when you should be trying not to get stressed out, but you get stressed out because you love them and you don't want them to go through stuff, but they do. They go through stuff and you got to sit on the side to watch them go through it, and you can't do nothing about it. You know, you can either sit and cry about it, or you can just brace yourself, you know, hoping it you know, they learn quickly. And but it was, you know, we were basically saying the mother shouldn't have to go through that when she went through her own karma, and then she's gotten older and she just want to relax. But it ain't like that. Real moms that love their children uh shares the karma with her children. Now, mothers that, I don't know, I can't say they don't love the children. I don't know what's going on with them. They don't, because I've seen some horrible behavior with some of these mothers and some of these dads, and I just don't understand where they are with that. But the 10% tithing, the 10% tithing has to do with the ego. The ego is 10% of you. The other 90% lays dormant. And so the 90% is what they call what do they call it? They got a name for it. They try to make you think it ain't no good, it's useless to you and all that. All you got is the 10%. But most people don't use 10% of their brain. They use 2 and 3%, because many people are not they don't have confidence in themselves. They've been broken so badly to they don't have confidence in themselves, because confidence comes from the ego, and that's the 10% of you. And so what is said, the Bible is saying, take the 10% and give it to the 90% so you can be whole. You're not whole as long as that 10%, which is the ego, is running you, because it does run you. It tells you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and everything. Even tells you how to be in fear of things. And most people are in fear of things that is unknown to them. You know, I feel for people, that the five people that left, because they probably still in Jesus, and I understand that because I was there. You know, you couldn't tell me shit when I was in Jesus. I just knew Jesus was real, and that was my younger days. That was my younger days, and we grew up in the church with Jesus, and so you can tell me nothing. We had a they the people came around and sold my mother some encyclopedias, and that long, looked like a rug, but my mother put it on her wall. It was supposed to be Jesus, which was a Caucasian, and the 12 disciples. I think everybody in the neighborhood had that. And that was subliminal. But for some reason I still couldn't get with the Caucasian Jesus. I didn't see Jesus as any color. But I didn't. You know, and then when I went in a particular organization, they had Jesus as black. I couldn't get with that either. You know, because the thing of it is, they can invent aliens all day and all night, all they want to. I don't care because they don't exist. We go in that fourth dimension. Excuse me. When we fall asleep, our soul leaves our body and it goes into the fourth dimension. That's where the soul goes. It goes into the fourth dimension. So people talk about they up in the ninth, the tenth. No, they're not. There's a lot of things going on up in that fourth dimension, and it make you think you somewhere else, but you right there in that fourth dimension. There's a lot of things going on up in there. People can tell you all kinds of experiences they have had, and they think that they beyond the fourth dimension. You can't go beyond the fourth dimension because there is a magnetic field up past that sun up there. There's a magnetic field. If you go look at Star Trek, you'll see it. And then the other thing that I want you to understand, in in those uh in those they call them mounds now. They call all of the pyramids mounds because they hid it under the word mounds. Uh if they have based on the game that I have, they do something called teleport. So they teleport from one location to another in those pyramids. That's why they don't want people to know all that stuff going on. That's why they call themselves hiding down in bunkers underground. That was not built by them. The underground was created by those women. Those women that was originally here, all that took place. The bridges that is no way possible that human beings had built, especially that they got one going to Alabama. And I know good and well that thing is deep, 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 deep down there. Human beings ain't built that, you know. And you got it's evidence that there were some giants in the earth. It's evidence. You can see it if you just relax and use your brain. You can see that there were some giants in the earth. There was a movie, Charleston Heston, and I can't remember the name of it because I was a teenager. But they did a movie with Charleston Heston. Oh, I know that, Jesse. I was talking about that before you came on. They right there in California, a lot of them. And I was tell me the name of this. I was telling them earlier that it was like four states that the Grand Canyon stretches to. It's California, Arkansas. What's the other location? It's 4 or 5 locations that the Grand Canyon stretches to. I used to know that. I hadn't did that. Shoot, I hadn't did that since maybe 1999 or 2000. It's been a while. Yeah, I bet. I bet. I bet, and they everywhere. I was talking to my aunt, and I know she was lying. She told me when she went to Florida, she saw some um those women are supposed to have been You know what I'm talking about, y'all. The fishes, the women that supposed to been fishes. She said she saw them in Florida. And I asked her, I said, what color was they? And she told me, she said, but they were white. And I knew she was lying. Yeah, Utah, Nevada, thank you, Arizona, Colorado. I'm gonna write that down because I had forgot because it's been so long. Yeah, Arizona, Colorado, and Utah, and Nevada. Mermaid, thank you. Yeah, mermaid. And I knew she was lying because she didn't think I was gonna ask her what color they were. And I wasn't asking to be smart or anything. I was just curious because anything I'm curious about, I may ask somebody a question and they may be I don't be trying to offend nobody. It just I want to know what I want to know, and that's just it. You know. Let's see here. But I personally think I was looking up at the sky, and I always be studying the anatomy. And you know, if you see the inside of your body, you would throw up. You literally, and you ask yourself, how in the world them doctors are able to stomach that stuff? You know, I got to go tomorrow and get a hemorrhoid cut out, and I always had that one hemorrhoid just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's real tender and it hurts. But it's just amazing how they stomach that stuff, the inside of your body. But I was looking at the stomach area, and then I went up to the head. The head itself looked like clouds, looked like little clouds. You know, the clouds that we see out there. And so when I look at that, when I look outside and I see those same type of clouds that looks like in our head, thank you. I appreciate that, Jesse. Send it on. But yeah, it looks like we're in a simulator or something. You know, it's almost like we're in, when you think about Mother Earth, uh, I don't think they got a story where they lied and said that Murdoch fought his mother, Tiamat, and tore her in half, and half of it is up in the air, and the other half is Mother Earth. I don't believe that shit no more than I can. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. It's like man has done everything he can. When I talk about man, I'm not talking about those that's not patriarch. I'm talking about patriarch because they're the writers of all that stuff. They have done everything they can to try to make themselves be to have been here first, and they do, and they know they're not. They wasn't. So Jesse says the veins in our hands resemble the leaf on the tree. It does. You know what? I got M's. I got M's. They just now breaking up, but the M's were very strong in my hand. Very strong in my hand. You know. And there's evidence that the creator is feminine and masculine. It's evidence of that. It's evidence. It's too much evidence to not to turn the head. And I can't just go with the crowd. I don't care if you the majority. The majority, I ain't never been afraid of the majority. If you want to follow the crowd, you want to follow somebody saying something, and you want to go and repeat what somebody said without studying, that's on you. You have to always check people, and it's easy to like somebody and then repeat what they said. You need to do your own checking. And our chest under x-ray looks like the roots of trees. Uh-huh. Do you know do you know that they have a machine at the hospital that can take a copy of your DNA? Did you know that? And what do they call it? What's going on? I think they're retired. And create you, recopy, copy, copy, copy. They have a machine that does that, but they're not going to tell you that. That's what that. Anytime that they want an X, they're not getting an X-ray of your outside. They're getting an X-ray of your inside. So when they made the comment said, um, "Let us create man in our image," uh, they ain't created shit in their image, because they're the image machine. That's what it is at the hospital. That image machine is taking a copy of everything inside of you, including your DNA. Replica. Thank you, Zelica. I thank you. Replica. They replicated. They did the machine, and then they replicated what was inside you. And it's funny because they're able to take a woman's egg, put it somewhere. I don't know where they put it, and don't think that they don't replicate stuff. Because I look at some of these people that had that type of surgery, and I promise you, some of them kids look like they spit them out like robots. That like robots. Go well, that ain't the way it is. I don't know how they did it. And what's so funny, if you notice in Hollywood, they always have to show you that they half naked, and they got to show you the belly. They have to always show you, make you think that they're pregnant. I'm like, come on now. Because I'm a firm believer of them having clones. They definitely believe they got clones. You take that you take that egg out from uh and then you have it sitting in a place for so many years. Come on now. That ain't gonna be the same. And then you take it and put it back in the woman's uh womb. It can't be the same. There was a series and they took it off the TV. It's called, let's see, I think it was called Black Lightning. And I watched that series. And what they were doing, they were experimenting in a real town. They were experimenting in a town, and I'm gonna have to pull that back up. They were experimenting in a town. They were giving that stuff to these people, and what it was doing to these people, it was making them become strong. Is what it was doing to these people, and they made it into some type of challenge where they were fighting, you know, against each other to gain power. And I went and looked it up, and I found out they were experimenting in this particular town. It's been a while since Black Lightning was on. I hadn't seen it in a while, but yeah, that's what they doing. They be doing stuff and they put it right in your face. and you don't even be knowing. If you don't keep up with it, you don't know it. You don't be knowing what they be doing. Isn't that a trip? But I'm nosy. I keep up with everything. That's all I got, people. Y'all be making me sit up here and be talking when I'm trying to be quiet and see y'all talking. You still there, Ocean? Ooh. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. This word right here. Hey, K, commentary. Do you think that the solar eclipse is real? Not the one I sing. That's why I put it on my channel. Not the one I sing. It looked like they had some type of spaceship or something. Uh, well, you know, all them little spaceship they have come from probably Area 51. You know, I don't. No, I don't. I don't think it's real because they pretty much say that they having sex. Well, start looking at between the fourth. Start at the fourth and just look every day. That the way what happens, it gets dark, like it's gonna rain, and then all of a sudden that little patch of they call it clouds come there, and then all of a sudden you see the redness underneath, and then you see the sun brightness at the top, like they're having sex. uh, Now I looked at this right here. I said, now that is the compass. Okay. Now, when you look at the news, notice how they got those letters. Now, the way they want us to think, when you look at the compass, it should be, let me see, up is north, down is south, right is east, and left is west. That's what they want us to think. Because they did that when the so-called children of Israel was encamping. That's what they did. And when they encamped, it was three to each section, and so 3 times 4 is 12. And so the zodiacs is three per uh, compass, so that's 12. So our body goes through the zodiac each month. It doesn't matter what zodiac you were born under, but they want us to think that up is north, down is south, and right is east, and left is west. But yet they made news. When you look at the word news, you see north, east, west, south, and it goes all the way around. It's something, excuse me, it's something to that because they put it, excuse me, they put that stuff in our face and we don't always pay attention. Now, in the book of Job, because it ain't Job, in the book of Job, Job, supposedly God says the so-called angels surrounded came unto God, and Satan came unto God, and God asked Satan, where have you been? He says, I've been up and down, across, no, left and right, something like that. But anyway, he's building the cross because that's what the when you look in ancient time, the compass is set like a cross when you take a look at it. And that's how I know that is not the way it is. That's what man created. Man wants you to think that this entity is outside of yourself. The creation took place within. And so if the creation took place within, then the creation still takes place within. You create life still within. And so everything else you create is within as well. But man, the patriarchals want people to think that it's something outside of yourself. And I'm more geared to know that what is outside was created from the inside. And so my attitude is, can it be reversed? Yeah, it can be. But when you come into awareness, and awareness is scaring people because people are in their comfort zone because they've been told what I just read in that Bible at the end of that Bible. Yeah, yeah. Would destruction take place within you? Would destruction take place? Yeah, you can destroy yourself if you stay in low vibration. I heard Bobby Hemmett say this, which I don't know. He said his mama was so knowledgeable, she conversed, which means she, fire took her away. But I don't know. That's just something to think about. People tend to try to put themselves. Actually, he did say that. He said, "I'm up so high." He said I fucked Carly. That's what he said. I fucked Carly, and that's when he had the stroke. You got to be careful when you're talking about, these names and titles. These names and titles that's given to the creator. I just believe that it's not but one. And these names, I call them titles. And personally, I don't think nobody knows the real name of the creator. I don't think nobody knows. And but they gave these titles to the creators, is what they did. I do believe that there was a period when, with the giants, I do believe that they knew. And then as time progressed, a group of people, oh, Jesse, you call it source. Hey, I understand. I understand. You I believe that the giants knew the name. And then as time progressed, people start losing themselves and start shrinking and stuff. Because I know that they shrunk because I have shrunk. I was 5'6", I'm 5'3" now. And they want to use the reason why I shrunk is because of my back. And that may be true. But I knew that those giants, something had to have happened with those giants. Something. And something did happen. They start shrinking. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I think that they came from the stars? I do. Because you ain't gonna find the only star you're gonna find up there in that sky and see is that sun. That's the only thing you're gonna see up there. And the sun came from a star, not the moon. The moon is a satellite. I mean, there's things going on down here that I heard somebody say that man created the devil. Man, not women. They say that this energy that they call the devil is an energy that came from man. And I forgot who said it. Yeah, we are star seeds. And it's funny because I heard some people start saying that they were star seeds. I'm like, stop it. They start talking about indigo children came and star seed. Listen, we was always here. We was always here. They didn't just come. But I can tell you this, I ain't seen no more stars up there. I wasn't seeing, I think it was in the 80s or the 90s when they started seeing the star seeds and the indigos. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. They were already here. They start waking up, you know. They start waking up. People start waking up. It's what started happening. And that's where we are today. And I guess we still got more to go of waking up, because it's people are afraid of themselves. They don't want to know the power, but see, there's a darkness within in us that we have to deal with. Very dark. And we have to deal with that part of ourselves. And that's the part. And there was a cartoon. No, it was a movie. Okay, it was a movie. Y'all may remember it. This movie, my son had me to watch it. This movie, these children was in the forest, and this child used to fall asleep, and every time this child fall asleep, this giant demon kept bothering him when he would go to sleep. And so what happened, it kept bothering him. And I think what happened, that demon, he brought that demon out of the dream world. And so he kept running from that demon. And I can't remember it was a pretty good illustration of what I'm trying to say. So what happened was it took him a while to do it, but he realized that that demon, that big monster, was him. And so when he started showing that he wasn't afraid of himself, then the monster went away. So we must create positive entities when we realize we are the creators of the negative ones. Yes, ma'am. Gone, girl. Gone, girl. Yes, ma'am. But we have to get through the negatives first. Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to say. And fortunate for me, I dealt with mines from childhood up until I don't get much of it. I used to get all kinds, you know, but it was me, you know, the shadow that I saw, it was me. I used to fly in my dreams, right? And what happened was every time I go to sleep, I'm flying. So now this went on for years. So there was this shadow always coming after me. And so what happened was I went on ahead. Somehow I was put on the ground. I didn't want to go down on the ground because that's where the shadow was. It was on the ground. And so when I got on the ground, the shadow came for me. And so I was running from the shadow. And so finally I made a decision. I'm not going to run from that shadow no more. When I stopped running from that shadow, I saw that that was my shadow side. You know how when you in the sun shows you your shadow. That's you. Now when you get to a place, I'm be honest with you, when you get to a place and you don't see no shadow, you better pay attention. You better pay attention because some people don't have them. I don't know how they made them, but some people down here don't have shadows at all. And you have to you have duality, and some people don't have duality. They just have the darkness, but they don't have the shadow to where you can see the shadow on them. They are very dead, but yet they look like you and me and other cultures. They all the way through. They showed a movie about that. You have to start looking at movies. If you look at TV, look at TV for, because see, they arrogant and they show us stuff because they think we're not paying attention to what they're doing. They're very arrogant in what they show us. We can. I heard, what is his name? Or we can put it on. We can put it on. We can put it in front of them, and they'll never see it with his country talking self. Uh, Bush, son Bush. Yeah, we got to be balanced. We have to be balanced because that's not going to go away. That's not going to go away, but you don't want it dominating you either, because it dominates you to hurt yourself. You want to be in control of that thing. You know, anger. I got angry today. I guess the creator wanted to show me, girl, you ain't got angry in years. You gonna get angry today. I did. I got angry today. I couldn't believe it. I was so disappointed in myself, but I snapped out of it because I hadn't gotten angry in a long time, and I got angry today because they wanted to play with me about their refrigerator, and it's just funny. And I guess the most I just let them do it too, but I snapped out of it. And I used to then snap out of it. I used to get mad and stay mad for days. So Jesse says, I really don't want to loop back to this place. How do I do shadow work? Well, it's first of all, you go into your meditation, you get away from everything there is. You find things to that you can be comfortable in a tub that cleanses your skin. There's different types of stuff that you can use. I call them, let's see, bentonite. Let's see. A lot of people, I don't know if they use this, but I'm gonna put it in here. Use bentonite clay. You put it in your bath water, and a lot of people use it. They just don't talk about it. Some people say, "Oh, that's witchy poo. She's a witch. She's this." They're afraid of what they don't know. If they don't know it, they call it witch. They call it evil. They call it that. But you wanna start using baths, taking baths, and you wanna get in a quiet. You don't want to be have no music on. You don't want to be talking to nobody. You just want to get in that tub and just start just being quiet, but bathing, just bathing. And I put some more up there too. I'll put some more up there underneath the video. Some things that you can use to the bathing. Then what happens is when you start seeing that you made a mistake or you did something wrong or you said something wrong, you need to take ownership of that. Instead of making excuses for it, start taking ownership. The more you take ownership of the things that you do, not just good things, the negative things that you do. The more you take ownership of the things that you do, the more you're going to see yourself for what it really is. I really think the Most High didn't want us to be so scared of ourselves. And that's maybe why we get things in parts. We start remembering things in parts because I personally think that I don't know if you had this experience where um, some presence uh, uh, came, and you couldn't move, and you could feel the presence, and you couldn't speak either. You couldn't speak. Like I pray in tongues, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do nothing. I was just stiff. I was paralyzed. I hadn't had that in a long time. I hope I don't speak that up on me. Because I sure spoke the doggone anger thing up on me today that I thought was gone. But you have to keep you have to keep on taking ownership, Jesse. And you want to do that every day because this is the time to do it. Don't worry about communicating with somebody, asking people, are you this or are you that? Because your inner self is going to help you with all that. You know, can't nobody tell you about you but your inside. The Creator put everything inside each one of us to know what we're supposed to be doing. The Creator did that. Man can't do it for you. You know, what I do, when you notice, whenever you guys come on here, I try to tell you to go inside yourself. You know, a lot of people try to take glory and you know, I don't do that because I don't have to. You know, did I put it in there? Bentonite? I guess I did. Okay, so you do bentonite. Yeah, that's right, Ocean. Tell him, don't give up. Take accountability and do better going forward. Yeah, that's right, Ocean. We have to because we want to be better people. We don't want to be examples of what is out there now. Because what is out there now is about to come down. Okay, all that. Anybody in a position to help somebody and they're not helping them, a series of things is going to take place in their lives. They're going to come out to be negative, but it's there to make you become better people. And if you don't, you're going to be removed from that position you're in. And people that's going to do it is going to be put in those positions. Because I'm seeing so many people, they don't want to do their job. They in these positions to help people and they don't want to do their job. And that's not cool. If you're in a hospital environment, people go to the hospital because they're sick. There ain't no reason why you should not be helping people in the hospital. You know, same thing with the restaurant. If you're in a restaurant, people go to the restaurant because they hungry. They hungry. Okay, feed them. Don't be tripping out. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that. That ain't your business. So stop tripping off if I ask you for a little bit more crust on my peach cobbler. You want to act like you own the peach cobbler. I'm paying for it. It's funny how people act. They take ownership of things that they shouldn't be taking ownership of. And they only want to help you and they want you to give them praise for something that they should be doing anyway. It's their job to serve you in a restaurant. It's their job to help you in a hospital. It's their job. It's their job to help you in a department store. It's your job. Why I got to beg you to do your job? So Ocean said, don't give up. Our Redeemer lives inside. Take accountability and do better going forward. Right on. Jesse says, Ocean, you are right. Thank you. Always. Selector says, Miss Deborah, do you mind me sharing my email regards to some tip in detecting the shadow and doing shadow work? Girl, go ahead. That's why I'm taking this using this platform as that. We got to help each other. We got to start somewhere. We do. We have to start helping each other. And so I'm reaching out to you guys, myself, and I'm hoping y'all reach back, bring others, and because everybody got something to help people with. Let's do this. You know, let's do this. Somebody got to start first. It doesn't matter if you're in Barbados, even though I want to come there. It doesn't matter if you're in California. It doesn't matter if you're in New York. It doesn't matter. We can help in so many ways. In so many ways. And I don't have to always be the speaker. Because I can, I like to sit down and just watch and smile and say, yes, I like that. But I'm just saying, there's no knowledge is everywhere. And see, the Most High is not going to give people the most secreted things because the Most High knows who's going to misuse it. Oh, yeah. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully we are the beginning of a new process. We can come in and we can have these kind of conversations, and it could just be about I didn't have a good day today, and then we can talk about that, whatever. If I come, you'll take me to lunch. Hey, I do want to come to Barbados for real. Yes, ma'am. One of these days I'm gonna get to go to Trinidad. My daughter just came from there, her and her father, but I don't want to intrude on my ex sister-in-law, so I don't entertain it because I told my daughter if I go, I would have to stay in a hotel. Oh, okay. Ocean says she'll be 28 this year, and okay. To be able to maintain a conversation with someone much older than I am. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got this. You got that. And I don't know what happened with the older people. I think they got burnt out. I think what happened, they just got burnt out because, and then the women that was my age, somehow they lost it. They messed up. They messed up, the women my age. They messed up uh, because a lot of them didn't take care of the parents. We should never put our parents in old folks' homes and stuff. Never. When I was growing up, I had to my aunt came to stay with us, and I had to watch her, and I saw her go through some things, and then my grandpa, he came and stayed with us, and he had tuberculosis, and I had to take him down to the health department every day on the bus, and that's when the bus was 25 cents, and I had to take him to the health department and and when he went in the hospital, he passed. But I just feel like the old folks should be taken care of at home. You should show your appreciation. And just because mom was not a good mother and dad wasn't a good dad, you be that they should have been. You be that what they should have been. And if you have been a person that say I'm not going to be like my mother and my father, things that they did, then but I'm gonna tell you, you wind up doing some of the stuff that they did, and then but you still strive to be better. The whole thing is each generation should get better and better and better. Not being better as I'm better than you, not that type of better. Better as in so you can help yourself and help others. You should always help yourself and help others. I'm a firm believer that, you know, it's important. I guess I learned that today because unfortunately the little guy that was he took me for granted. He had a lot of responsibility in this apartment. They don't give him no help. And Miss Deborah sits up there and said, "Well, it's just kind of cool up in the top in the freezer part. It'll be all right." What I say that for? So that gave him the light to go and do his other work. And he didn't know that Miss Deborah wasn't eating because Miss Deborah couldn't cook. So I was eating some crackers, you know, and I did go out and get me a sandwich, a tuna sandwich. But it sometimes when don't take advantage of your friends that seem that's kind. They're not weak. They're just being kind, and people tend to take them for granted. I try real hard to be kind regardless. But I can be a booger bear. But I try not to be that booger bear because I don't want to. It doesn't. That's how I was acting earlier today, and it didn't get me nowhere. So I had to come back to my senses because the young man, because he didn't do the right thing, he made the wrong choice. He told me he had to order the refrigerator. The refrigerator was came in early, but because Miss Deborah said, "Oh, it's kind of cool in the freezer part," so what he took for granted was Miss Deborah. All right, I'll take the new refrigerator up there when I get through doing all this stuff over here. He got bombarded. There's always lesson when you don't do the right thing. There's always lessons. You can't blame it on no devil. You made a bad decision. You you made a you made a bad decision, and because you made a bad decision, there's a consequences for it. Now the consequence ain't gonna hurt you. It's just gonna teach you some things, and it's best to catch it and get it than to ignore it because it in this period where we at, it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get harder. So it's best to just go ahead on take it like a champ, and go on and see what you need to learn from it. You know, I'm just so glad that I was able to calm myself down and not stay mad. Uh, because I used to stay mad for days, weeks. That's how I know I've grown. Oh, what's my zodiac? My zodiac is Virgo. Yep, that old Virgo. I'm my worst critic. Yep, I'll tell me how wrong I am before you can tell me. But I may not out loud say it, but I'd say it within my mind. Girl, you know that was wrong what you did. Yeah, you have to do that. When the spirit shows you things that, and that's another thing, Jesse. The spirit's gonna show you things that you can improve on. You know, and then the spirit will start taking you away from people and start causing you to be like a hermit because that's where you best learn. You learn better many times as a hermit, and then when you somewhat is not influenced by those type of people, then you be allowed to go back around them. It's just amazing how the spirit does that stuff. You know, all of a sudden these people disappear. They disappear, but they think they're disappearing because of them. They're not disappearing because of them. They're disappearing because the Creator moved them out of the way. You know, like me, I give people chances over and over and over, but I'm not going to be able to do that no more. I have to I have to not give those people an opportunity. I need to pay attention to them the first time. Now, see, before I saw them and I didn't see them because sometimes it gets a little lonely for people, not for a mate, but it gets a little lonely sometimes, and I have to stay busy because it would be great to be able to have somebody to talk to about the things that I talk about, and they can talk about the things that they talk about, but I don't. It's like the Most High let me do it for a minute, and then the Most High will separate us, and the Most High will use me and say, "Okay, it's time for you to go on a cleansing." And so that's what I did for these past 3 months. I went on a cleansing um, for these past 3 months. I couldn't talk to nobody but my children and my grandchildren and videos, and that was it. And so I'm out of that now, and I do that every year. Every year, starting right at Christmas time, well, December, I do that, and it's just the automatic, because you have to. You go around all these different spirits, and you talk to all these different spirits, and you don't want nobody's spirit on you but yours, because you can take on other people's spirit and you will hurt yourself. There's a story in the Bible where and it's just a metaphor. Two men uh uh call themselves trying to cast the devils out of somebody, and the devil said to the two men, "Jesus I know, Paul I know, but who are you?" And those demons jumped into those men. And that is a metaphor, but it's real. It's real. People carry spirits on them that they don't even know they carry. And they are comfortable with their spirit, but if it get on you, you may not be comfortable with that spirit. Because one got on me, a sex spirit, and I don't, I'm not. I've never been one too keen on sex. I went through the standard, oh, get married. Okay, let me get married. Have children. Oh, yeah, have children. Get a good job. Oh, yeah. Get a house. Yeah. I did the standard thing, not really enjoying it, and so that's what society wants you to do. But it's important to go within yourself and see what's set for you to do in this life, not do what society wants you to do, because that's where I was. Oh yeah, just have kids, have a good job, make plenty of money, and have a husband, have a wife, and nice cars, and go to church on Sunday. That was my life, but I wasn't happy. It was only when I started walking in the things that is set before me to walk in is when I began to start being happy. I'm very content in my spiritual walk, very content. And then the thing about walking in my spiritual is that when negative things come, they're not as painful. But when you don't understand spirituality and negative things come, you're gonna be the victim every time. Woe is me. Why this happening to me? I don't understand why this is happening to me. Is this happening to you? And then people gonna say, no, that ain't happened to me. You must have did something you had no business doing. You know, like if you ever read the story about the physical story about Job and his three friends, that's what they did to him. When things started happening, even though there was no man named Job and three friends, but I like the metaphor. Uh, Job lost everything, including his children, include everything. And Job converse with his friends, and his friend could never tell him nothing good. That's what they do too. They could never tell him nothing good. And then this young man came along at the end and gave Job, well, his wife said to him, why don't you curse your God and die? Job, like, woman, are you crazy? And so this young man came and gave Job half of what God wanted him to tell him. God had Job to pray for his three friends because he was going to take them out because they was mocking Job. You know, that's what people do. They mock you. When you lose things, they mock you. They laugh at you. That's what they do. If you were skinny and they were bigger than you, and then you got fat or you got bigger, then they laugh at you because now they're smaller and you big, and you be like, baby, it wasn't even no competition. There was no competition. But that's that the characteristics of how Job friends is, that's how people are, period. And that's what they do. I've had one to tell me I'm higher than you. I said to myself, in what way? Because you make millions of dollars every year. You, that's all you got. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no spiritual walk. You just got money. But I didn't tell her that. I just stayed quiet. Because I'm not in your circle to where I'm in competition with you. Therefore, you shouldn't be in competition with me. Because I stay busy. I have enough to keep me busy to where I don't even look at the other person to try to do what they do or want to do what they do. Because I don't have to. You don't have to. Once you get what the creator wants you to know about you, you got it made in the shade. And anybody that try to come for you about some stuff, you be like, okay, it's all right. And that's what it be. It's all right. I had a preacher to tell me, Deborah, you got a car? At that time, I didn't have a car. Deborah, you got a car? And I told him, no. He said, something wrong with that picture. That's what he told me. Now, if I wasn't solid in what I knew about the Creator and where the Creator had me going, that would have hurt me real bad because it came from a preacher, one that I had great respect for. And that's who it comes through. It comes from people, comes that discouragement comes through people you love and care for, you may have respect for, all them kind of people. It ain't gonna come through people you don't give a flip about. I'm tell you that now. But after a while, whatever they say ain't gonna even matter. It ain't gonna matter. And it's funny, it's like the creator would take your love that you have for these people and store it on the shelf. It just sits on the shelf. And you can take it down off the shelf if you want to, but it sits there. I let mine sit. I have other things I want to do. I don't want my mind focused on these people that don't care about me. I don't. That's wasted energy. When you find out that people don't care nothing about you, you have to let them go. You have to let them go because if you don't, they're going to destroy you. Because you're going to be looking for approval from these people about things that you do, and they ain't going to never give it to you. They ain't going to never give it to you because it ain't their job to give it to you. That's why you ain't going to never get it. Because it only comes from the creator. If the creator is solidifying you, appointing you, giving you the go, that's it. That's it. All right, good people. It's time for me to head it. It's time for me to head it. I got to get up early in the morning. Anything? You want to say anything before we go depart? If I'm feeling better after the surgery, if I'm feeling good, I'll come on at this time. But if you don't see me, I'll come on when I feel better. But it still be at this time. So, all right, good people. Take care and have a good night.